Well, we're back to push day because I ended up having to go to the gym pretty early, like 6 o'clock ish last time. Going to the Planet Fitness. First set, I had somebody come over and be like, "Hey, we've had people complaining about you filming." He was cool about it, and I was like, "Well, yeah, I figured that would happen, that middle of the day area where it's kind of busy." It was mostly people on cardio machines in there, not a lot of people on the machines and stuff, which was nice for a lift, but I was hoping that might be an indicator that I could get away with filming, but no cigar. Such comes with the area. The worker there was like, "Hey, yeah, I know you film here at midnight, just like during the daytime there's so many people that somebody's gonna complain about it, so I'll have to, I guess, just work my schedule around having some 12 o'clock lifts, which is not gonna be fun sleep-wise, but if that's what it takes to be able to film them, then that's a price I'll have to pay." But we're in the rec gym. My basic idea is that first 2 days we'll go to PFit, and then we'll just come here for the last 2 days and then go back for leg day to PFit. It's too bad that I'm not able to go there early, but like, I don't really like going there early regardless, so this is kind of nice to be able to come in late and actually lift without any people in there. That's always lovely. So it doesn't look like there's anybody in there today. See you guys in there. Check out these triceps, dude. Looking nutty. Always like a slight tricep pump. Not a big one, because then they just kind of like quads, where once you get so much of a pump, they just disappear. But a little bit of a pump makes the muscle show out. Got me rethinking if triceps is something I need to work on. Trying out grabbing the cuffs instead of wrapping them around my wrists. I find it helps a lot. Like, completely hugs my hand versus using like a D handle where you gotta worry about grip. What's that, like Japanese swordsmen say? You gotta become one with the sword. It literally feels like this is my hand, like this whole thing. Maybe that's getting too fancy. Usually, I want to put these up on my wrist like this. I'd probably load up like 100 pounds. But if you know anything about levers, the further you go from the pivot, which is going to be my elbow, the more torque is produced. So if I had it like all the way up here and I was doing tricep pushdowns, I could do the whole stack in another and it wouldn't be enough. What I find with triceps, same with quads on leg extensions, they're really weak at the lockout. So I'm trying to keep myself upright, keep my arm at my side and push straight down. That way at the end, this is pretty much, it's coming a lot more flush with my arm, so there's less force. Ooh, 9 on that side. That's why I start with my right side. My left side's stronger. Not sure why, but it is. Sorry this isn't the usual yap sessions. There's a couple in here doing what I can only guess was badminton training because they were throwing up and stuff. Oof. Slow down on that rep. Last rep was crazy. No reps left, which is different from failure. Failure is when you can't move it. You're stuck, you can't get it out, you just have to let it go. 0 reps in reserve is you have done a rep, and then if you try to do another one, you would have failed. Not feeling very talkative today. Long day. Went to school, then I came here, did my cardio, then I went and did some door dashing. And then when I was done with that, went home, finally got some videos in iMovie, so you guys might finally be getting videos as of the end of January. Oof. Which, oh well, gives me some time to do everyday uploads, which is better for growth as far as I have been told. So, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I've finally gotten a few lifts at the PFIT there, so I know what machines are there. I know what movements I like. I tried doing one of those lat pull down machines that kind of go like this, not the actual like cable lat pull down, like the plate loaded arced pathway that kind of converges at the top. Didn't like that machine there. That machine sucks. Its path is, or the seat is what's wrong with it. The seating is like way too far forward, so it kind of like pulls down like this. It's just not a good setup, but no, c'est la vie. Really would have liked to have that, but I'm sure I can figure out some other way to jerry rig it. I use the bench and cable setup over here. That works pretty nicely. I don't mind that. I'll do that. Ooh. Hitting some reverse curls, and then we're going to do some wrist curls, some flexor extensor supersetting, which I probably won't film. Trying out these with the regular old straps. I feel like the Versas, because I'm using the V bar, not the V bar, but the W bar, that kind of goes like that. I like to fit my middle finger in the groove. It's where I'm most comfortable. Because the Versa grips are like rubber, they won't bend over it, and then the bar's like skinnier than like a barbell or something you'd use on a pull down, or it's useful for back stuff, but when the bar's this ungirthy, these work better. I need to get the like 3-in-1 straps that are cuffs and wrist wraps and straps all in one. But I already have all the stuff. Do I really want to spend another $24 for what? That might look funky. Just doing like dinosaur hands. Think trying to keep your hands up and steady like that. I mean, it's just using your extensors, which, as I've said before, are famously weak in anybody, not just me. So, just at the bottom, my wrist is flat, but I'm just pulling my wrist up. I'm not trying to force my hand to stay straight. One thing I'd warn against doing that is if you got wrist issues. I got wrist issues here. It doesn't aggravate them, but you might have different issues with your wrist, which might aggravate them. If you're going to be doing this, right, you're going to be able to do more weight. For the same reason, using the cuffs on your hand, you're not going to be able to do as much weight as putting them on your wrist. Because if you're pulling from the wrist, that's less torque than if you're pulling from the hand. Unless you're maxing out the cable stack and you got no weights to add, then you should be good. A lot of these Matrix machines have their weight stacks enclosed, so you can't like load weights on it unless you have like a super long gym pin. These ones are open, and there's enough space where if you pinned even at the bottom, you could probably throw a 25 on there at least. And they also got the spots for the 5s, so you could potentially add another 35 pounds to the stack here. And if you come here late at night like I do and you don't have a gym pin, you just steal the one from over there, because these aren't actually hooked up to the machines at all. They're just some free pins, so you take that one, stick it in, throw a plate on. So you potentially add like another 80 pounds on there. But not that freaky yet. We'll give it about another 10 years and some gear before I get to that point. For now, I'm only hitting 150. And I have no clue for how many reps because I forgot to count. Oh well, guess I'll just go to failure again. I don't throw too much of a fit about it because I'm doing reverse curls. I'm not going to lose like a bunch of biceps or a bunch of brachialis. I'm not going to fatigue them like crazy doing a couple sets to failure on the reverse curls, but I do need to do a better job of recording what I'm doing, actually making sure actually writing down a program, which I'll get to this weekend. I'll find out what exercises I liked, what weights I need to do with them, what reps, what RER I should probably plan for, and go from there. Something you don't have to know but comes in handy is knowing where your muscles attach. Let's say you were a newbie to the gym and I told you, oh, this is a wrist exercise or a forearm exercise, but don't use your wrists. You'd be like, what? Forearm exercise, but don't use your wrists? That doesn't make sense. Well, we're talking about the brachioradialis, which goes from here to here, doesn't go to my hand at all. The lighting on this camera is not as nice as off camera. I tried filming a video of my calves because my calves look ridiculous, like I'm conditioned or something. I'm not, but they certainly look like it. I wanted to get a picture of it real quick. As a informational thing, because a lot of people don't understand that fat distribution is both different for everyone. You know, I've got cousins with cankles, right? I'm actually related to these people, but I still got like crazy deep cut calves at probably 30% body fat versus my cousin who's like got visible abs has got cankles, especially in ladies. If you're a lady, you should probably know that most physiology textbooks and stuff are not attuned to you at all. They are attuned to 70-kilogram males. It's always good to check out and be like, does this apply to me? And that does go for training too. I mean, not to an extreme. There are definitely observed sex differences in recoverability and stuff. Enough to change programming, maybe not, but enough to be at least noticeable. There are big differences in like proportions of mass. Like, duh, ladies have stronger legs. Noticed mid-set, you might have too, I kind of did this action. I was like pulling my elbows back. It makes it a little easier. It's like a dual joint movement. I'm kind of using my rear delts, which isn't what I want to do. So same mindset as a push down, elbows at the side. Not a bad lift. I did some extensors, flexors. Basically all I do is I find a bench, I lay my forearms down on it. With the dumbbells, I do my flexors, and then with the straight bars, I do my extensors. That's all there really is to it. Nothing too fancy. One thing I do find is that if I set the bench up and it's like here, and I'm doing my extensors, right, I'll get a popping in my wrists. But if I set the bench up so the edge is right here, right, closer to my wrist, doesn't happen. I'm good, I'm chilling. Update on the weight, I'm at 255 now. So we officially have 5 pounds down. Have not been locked in on the diet. Mainly because I don't have food. I just don't. Usually I would make some breakfast sandwiches, some chicken wraps. I have a few microwave meals in case I'm at school. Because at school I can't be like preheating stuff and all that fancy snazzy stuff I do with my other meal preps. Might move on to something simpler like just some chicken breast and rice, but man oh man, chicken breast and rice is like pinnacle of unflavored bodybuilder slop. If you can suffice off of it, good for you. And I certainly could, but I mean, it's cheap. That's the nice part. And eventually I'll be broke enough to where I'll have to do that. And I'll be back tomorrow with a pull day. I'll be at the rec center again, and then another leg day. I'll do that at PFIT. Problem is, if PFIT I end up going early, I won't film. Basically, my thought is if I end up there earlier than like 11 or 12, then I'm not gonna bother filming, because I don't want to, you know, draw more attention to myself as the guy who films. You know, if I'm coming in at like 12 and filming, then nobody cares. I'd rather not be bothering people anyways with me filming. It's the main reason I started filming real late there, was because I didn't want to be the guy that filmed everybody. But I think that's all I really got. Appreciate you for watching. If you want to check out other videos, hit subscribe, check out the channel, give it a like if you liked it. Any comments, questions, or concerns, go in the comments section. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See you in the next one.